There is a watch sitting in a collector's box right now that costs $120,000. It is an extraordinary piece of engineering, widely celebrated as the absolute pinnacle of luxury horology. Set that masterpiece down next to a $20 plastic Casio from a drugstore and ask them both what time it is. The cheap piece of plastic will give you a vastly superior answer. A tiny crystal inside the quartz watch vibrates 32,000 times a second. A simple circuit counts every single pulse. That calculation guarantees near-perfect accuracy for 7 years on one battery. Flawless timekeeping is a solved problem, meaning you aren't paying for accuracy. The entire luxury watch market operates on a very specific psychological illusion. They want you to believe that as the price tag climbs higher, you are inherently buying a functionally better machine. But there is an exact mathematical boundary where that logic falls apart. A hard dollar amount where your money permanently stops buying you a better watch and starts buying you something else entirely. Almost nobody knows where it sits, so they just keep blindly climbing, handing over their credit cards for an emotional feeling, mistaking it for mechanical value. The floor of this ladder sits between $0 and $500. This tier is completely honest. Down here, you are paying strictly for raw working functionality. As you push toward a few $100s, you hit your first real mechanical watches. You lose the battery and gain a little metal rotor that spins with the motion of your wrist, acting as a tiny self-winding engine. Step up into the $500 to $1,500 range and you enter Swiss territory. Getting those words printed on the dial requires strict legal oversight, mandating that the majority of the watch's manufacturing value actually originates in Switzerland. The money here buys highly specific upgrades. You get extremely hard, scratch-resistant sapphire crystals covering the dial, and movements upgraded to hold 80-hour power reserves. 10 years ago, those specifications were exclusive luxury flexes. Today, thanks to the meticulous bench labor and modern assembly lines you see here, they are the baseline standard for this tier. Up to the $1,500 mark, the market logic remains sound. Every extra dollar you spend directly purchases a measurable physical improvement in the machine strapped to your arm. But that clean math hits a hard ceiling. The absolute peak of functional horology sits exactly at $4,000. This diagram shows the ultimate technical achievement unlocked at that price. On the left, a standard metal watch spring distorts near modern electronics. On the right, a silicon hairspring inside a $4,000 watch completely ignores magnetic fields from your laptop and phone. Compare a $4,000 piece, like a Tudor, directly to a legacy luxury watch priced at $15,000. They both pass the exact same independent Swiss accuracy tests. So what does that extra $11,000 buy you? A different grade of steel polish, a famous logo on the dial, a perceived resale value. It buys absolutely zero improvement in telling the time. The moment you cross that $4,000 boundary, the transaction changes. You are officially done paying for a better machine, and you have begun paying for prestige. Pushing into the $4,000 to $10,000 tier, you are paying purely for brand icons, heritage, and minute aesthetic details, like a secondhand that glides in a perfectly smooth sweep instead of ticking. Step into the $10,000 to $40,000 weight class, and the price spikes are driven by raw commodity markets. You are paying for the physical weight of heavy, solid gold cases. And yet, this tier holds an incredible irony. For $26,000, a legacy Swiss watchmaker will sell you this piece. Look closely at the dial. It runs on a battery-powered quartz movement. Stripped of its steel case and diamonds, the internal engine powering that $26,000 luxury flex operates on the exact same physics as the $20 digital watch we started with. Above $40,000, the market discards reality entirely. These are extreme rarities that demand massive cash premiums and years of groveling on boutique waitlists just for the permission to buy one. At these six-figure heights, the object on your wrist completely ceases to be a timekeeping tool. It is exclusively wearable art, functioning as a highly visible membership card to an elite class. There is one final excuse collectors use to justify crossing that $4,000 line. They convince themselves that a luxury watch is a safe, reliable financial investment. It is a dangerous narrative. A few years ago, right at the peak of the market hype, I bought a highly sought-after steel Submariner for $17,500. When I sold it recently, I took a $2,500 loss. This graph shows exactly what happens when you treat a watch like a stock. The moment you use the word investment, you stop appreciating horological craftsmanship and start anxiously managing a sterile financial asset. Even in the rare cases where a luxury watch successfully holds its value, you have to be honest about the transaction. The massive premium you paid was for a financial instrument, not a superior timekeeping machine. The watch industry relies on you ignoring this reality. Their entire business model is built on selling the idea that the next purchase will finally make you feel like you have enough. But the math is clear. Below $4,000, you are buying a highly capable machine. Above $4,000, you are buying a logo, manufactured rarity, and a feeling. It is perfectly fine to pay for prestige, as long as you stop lying to yourself about what you are actually buying. You can step off the ladder whenever you want.